Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan of the Chart Guys. I've been trading for the last 13 plus years. In this video, we're going to check in on the broader market. Bitcoin trying to act as a laggard to the broader market with crypto stocks catching a bid with a bit of a headline. We've got the NASDAQ and SPY both hitting new all-time highs. A lot to check in on as we approach NVDA earnings on Wednesday. Keep an eye out on social media. We're going to be running an annual sale here later this week. And on Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do a live webinar where I am interviewing a star-studded Chart Guys member and going over a bit what that entails. All right, so we do have a double top up at the high on SPY. That all-time high was 531.52, and we only broke it by 4 pennies. So if we were to drop down and break the low of Friday, that would increase the probability significantly that weekly consolidation would be shaping up. And weekly consolidation won't be surprising as we just V-shaped bounce and went straight up for the last month. There's a good bit of space for a weekly higher low to form as the result of next consolidation. So essentially, the next 2 days, I'm watching the broader market very closely because my IRA is all long-term positions, or I should say all long positions, swing positions, and I'm watching to see, do I need to hedge them? And right now, we are on the verge of potentially giving that signal. So if SPY drops down and breaks that support, I will likely be in some top fishing hedges. And by top fishing, I just mean placing my stop a bit above the high, have some protection on. If we get another leg up, then all is well. So what bears want to see tomorrow is SPY confirm an hourly downtrend as the result of the next bounce to try and get to that 527 support. QQQ daily bull flag confirmed and a much stronger close there. And again, you know how I always am talking about how on one side we've got NASDAQ, semiconductors, big tech, and on the other side, it's XLF, XLV, IWM, and a bunch of other sectors. And so today, XLF had a big drop. We'll talk about that in just a moment. XLV was mostly flat, a little bit red, but it was semiconductors and tech that were doing the work for the bulls. But we know if SPY does not join, then this bull flag will not get any follow through on QQQ. But as of right now, bulls are still in control. A break of 453.48 would be a first little cautionary signal. And again, keeping an eye out to see if it's time to hedge. Not in any just yet. Semiconductors. So NVDA earnings on Wednesday is likely going to determine whether we get a new all-time high or not. And again, all the sectors that have hit all-time highs that I care about, we got, of course, SPY and QQQ, but XLF hit an all-time high to end last week. XLV and SMH have not done so yet. If it's going to be full steam ahead for the bulls and confidence and, continuation of the melt up that started back in October, then we want to see those sectors get those highs as well. So short-term key support. And again, if you're looking at it from a swing trade perspective, I should say, it's just these higher lows. There's nothing to worry about if the higher lows keep holding. And right now, there's a decent bit of space to keep holding them. But again, NVDA earnings are incoming. And it's doing the same thing, hovering just under the all-time high. And if it's a bullish reaction, we're heading to 1,000 and new all-time highs. So we'll see what Wednesday after hours gives us. Tesla is extremely unusual this year. And I was saying that about Apple. Apple and Tesla, both, their correlations to the NASDAQ are vastly different than prior years. And I've been staring at these correlations for the last 9 years. And I was able to say something is extremely unusual with Apple. I think Buffett is selling. Then we get the information, Q1, that Buffett was selling a lot of shares. How could I see that? Well, the correlation with QQQ was broken. There was constant relative weakness, and that's because Buffett was selling a massive amount of shares, and that was messing with the correlation. That is happening with Tesla. Something's going on with big money behind the scenes with Tesla, in my opinion, because its correlation to the NASDAQ is more out of whack this year than I've seen in a bunch of years in the past. Today was just a daily inside bar. What I'm watching for is, can the bulls confirm a daily uptrend to set a weekly higher low? Can the bulls confirm a weekly uptrend to set a 3-month long-term higher low within this equilibrium? That's what I care about into the summer, one time frame at a time. Right now it's on the daily, but again, NASDAQ bulls up 0.7% on the day, and here's Tesla down 1.4%. So Tesla divided by QQQ showing us the weakness, unable to do anything for now. That can change in one day, so I'm certainly still watching for Tesla to try and shape up the daily uptrend, but I'm not entering in any weakness. I need to enter into strength and momentum, showing me that the tide is turning. Because right now, today was another example of nope, nothing's changing just yet. So crypto stocks. So first off, we've got a headline. Crypto was strong before this headline, but this shot things up into the end of the day where essentially probabilities for a spot ETF increasing, at least from Eric Balchunas, increasing from 25% to 75%. That's a huge flip. 1 out of 4 chance into a 3 out of 4 chance. And they've got until this month to determine. And they're saying SEC is asking exchanges to update 19B4 filings on an accelerated basis for spot Ether ETFs. And so, apparently things changed behind the scenes in this regard, and that led to a significant spike in both BTC and ETH. And so with that, we got the crypto miners. MARA is up 15% today. CLSK up 14%. Coin up 8.5%. And I was entering coin on Friday, started to build a position. Talked about this as I was a guest on Scott Melker's show. And just the daily falling wedge. Knowing a monthly high or low is the most likely scenario. I'm viewing Bitcoin as a laggard. SPY is a monthly bull flag. It confirmed. QQQ monthly bull flag confirmed to all-time highs. Daily oversold marked their higher lows. Gold weekly bull flag confirmed to all-time highs. So Bitcoin is a monthly bull flag. Its daily oversold conditions so far have marked the bottom just like SPY and QQQ did. And here we are trying to confirm the monthly bull flag to new all-time highs. So I'm just viewing it as a laggard to what is already happening elsewhere. And so we get a big green day today. And, I got some IBIT in my IRA from last week and coin as well. I added to coin when the inside bar broke bull. Stop is under the low. At that point, I'm not expecting, if we were to hit any fresh lows, that's a big red flag from here. So that low has to hold. That's where my stop goes. Target upper 220s to take partial profit. And then, of course, ideally looking to head back up, 260 plus. But this headline obviously benefits coin because if there's a new ETF, they will likely be custodians, just like with Bitcoin. And so we'll see what kind of momentum we get here. Definitely have to see some consolidation in Bitcoin, which is happening right now. Pulling back on the 15-minute, just a euphoria temporary top. But we'll see for the rest of May if the crypto bulls can continue acting as laggards. Again, not just coin on this break, but MARA slowly grinding, getting to multiple month highs. CLSK trading sideways, trying to break that sideways range. So definitely keeping an eye on these names. Financial sector, big drop today, and headline JPM is one of the most important names in this sector, and essentially saying, man, we might not be doing buybacks. Honestly, I didn't even read much of the headline. I just know there's a headline, negative towards buybacks on JPM. That's all I need to know. And so we're watching, does hourly oversold mark a daily higher low? And we ran out of time today. We were very beat up on the 15-minute and short-term time frames. And so tomorrow, it's going to be important to me whether or not the hourly oversold bounce can mark the daily higher low. Because if not, again, that will increase the probabilities of weekly consolidation in the S&P 500 if XLF does not see the first hourly oversold from all-time highs lead to a solid bounce. So again, it's just little pieces of the puzzle and watching for clues out of all those little pieces of the puzzle. So NVDA earnings for SMH, XLF hourly oversold, making up the bigger picture of what the S&P 500 is going to do here in the short term. XLV sideways the last few days, nothing going on here. Still possible for a weekly lower high to be set. There's a lot of price action resistance, 147, 148, and we're just under that right now. So again, this is why I'm open to weekly consolidation shaping up, just because this would not be surprising if something like that were to happen. But burden certainly on bears here in the short term if that's going to be the case. And again, that's why the next 2 days are real important for me, because SPY is either going to see a convincing break of all-time highs or a break of this daily support sometime this week. Volume still real low into the summer. expecting that to continue. Cannabis stocks following through for the bears. So in the weekend video, talked about how MSOS set the daily lower high. A bunch of other names had not done so yet. They were daily inside bars, but anticipating they were likely going to follow as well. CGC broke that low of Friday, 1066, and dumped a big 9-10% dump from that level. And again, just daily equilibriums. So all just digesting that one headline candle. Higher low, lower high, scouting a higher low on CGC compared to 876 to continue tightening up through the week. MSOS looking for the bulls to try and hold a daily higher low compared to 876, key level. And I am reloading. I have reloaded the position I sold at 1030 to end last week. Scaled back in with a little flip at the end of the day today. And now I got an average at 923 on what I sold at 1030 on that swing position. If we break daily support with follow through, I will exit. If we hold, then I'll keep looking for something like this. But the bulls need to show up tomorrow and at least show an attempt at playing some defense there. But again, momentum leaving the sector. A lot of despair out there in the holders due to the lack of any reaction to the headline. We're going to keep sticking to the technicals and the most likely scenarios to help guide us through the summer, knowing that there's a catalyst potentially looming late summer into the fall with the election and the votes and Florida recreational, and expecting that Schedule 3 will try and get wrapped up into the election to have that headline on Biden's resume. GME. So daily bounce underway, and there was a pop into the end of the day that had a good amount of volume behind it, came seemingly out of nowhere. We'll see if the bulls can build off that momentum. The goal for the bulls here is to fill this gap at 27.59. So that's a short-term goal. But we know bears are waiting for a daily lower high. There's a ton of space for it to form. What does the bounce retracement look like here? And bulls have proving to do over the next couple of days. AMC similar. Trying to hold daily EMA 12. Need to break 493. And we need to break $5 tomorrow to break short-term resistance, get the daily bounce going. But again, reminding ourselves in the back of our mind, daily lower highs are the most likely scenario. Just a question of we're taking it 1 hour at a time as we watch for it, knowing it could happen at 5:20 or it could happen at 7:20 or 8:20. Who knows? Volume's going to help be a clue, but definitely protective. After the size of this retracement from that bull move up, bulls need to be protective of any profits they get in the short term. Dollar. So daily bounce underway for the dollar. Anything under 105.46 is a lower high. So just a clear downtrend here. Lower high. A little tightening range there, but lower low. Watching for a lower high. I am reminding myself, just like again it aligns, I know that the broader market's going to have to see weekly consolidation eventually, and I will be scouting a weekly high or low. If this monthly lower high on the dollar is going to shape up and follow through for a continued tightening range here, we have to see a weekly downtrend confirm, which means a weekly bounce. So the dollar, if we get a weekly bounce going, will likely lead to weekly consolidation in the broader market. And then bears have to confirm a weekly downtrend. So I'm watching the dollar, looking for clues. Is the weekly bounce shaping up right now? Not convincingly at this point, but we'll see how that continues. Weekly EMA 12 will be a nice guide after rejecting the price multiple times. Get over that, and the weekly bounce is likely shaping up. Metals on fire. I've been talking about the metals for months and months. Weekly, gold, bull flag confirmed, new all-time highs. 4-hour tightening range now. So all-time high this morning, higher low off EMA 12 and 15-minute oversold conditions this morning as well. And now a potential 4-hour lower high. So into tomorrow, if we confirm the 4-hour downtrend, we zoom out, we scout hourly oversold conditions, and we watch for a daily higher low to try and form. Not ideal to break a weekly bull flag straight into daily consolidation, but we were also pretty extended getting up to that level. Silver just exploded last week. Again, this weekly cup and handle, the amount of follow through at this point is just perfection. Reloaded off weekly EMA 12 after some profit taking. Another leg up, 13-month highs. Just absolutely ideal. But same deal, 4-hour tightening range. Let's see how the tightening range breaks tomorrow to dictate short term And in the miners swing trades as well, GDXJ is leading the way because of silver leading the way. They have more, junior miners have more exposure to silver, but I chose NUGT, just the way it goes. And going to ride this as long as we're in a daily uptrend and hitting multiple year highs on GDX. So really loving how commodities are trading. Certainly led by the metals. Copper hit all-time highs. Natural gas finally put in at least a bottom for a while. Oil not doing much. Weekly bounce is underway, and we know if the monthly equilibrium is going to continue tightening up, same as the dollar, the bears want to confirm a weekly downtrend if the monthly lower high is going to be convincing and keep tightening up. And natural gas, again, putting in a bottom here, up 50% off those lows in a few weeks. Space for a weekly higher low to try and form next consolidation, keeping in mind we did the same thing back here and failed. So it's not a sure thing by any means, but watching for a weekly uptrend to try and confirm. And again, commodities are looking pretty hot over the last couple of months, led by the metals. So I know I personally, between metals and miners, I have more metals and miners exposure over the last month that I've had in a very long time. I've got more Bitcoin and crypto stock exposure in swing trades over the last week than I've had in a long time. And again, that's why I'm, on the edge of my seat looking for a hedge here, because I do have a lot of long exposure. Hope you're well. Do good things. We'll keep an eye on that SPY tight range for short-term direction. The art of observation. I came down here and said, it didn't rain recently enough for this pond to be cloudy. That doesn't make sense. And then I see this, and it looks like a big something came out of here, had muck all over its feet, matted this grass down very significantly, and then wandered off towards the woods. It was definitely a bear.